this video I'm going to talk about the Revlon Colorstay Bold Cream Eyeshadows, and I'm in the shade Stardust. That's what I've picked. And my name is Melissa van Dijk. I'm a makeup artist, and I'm going to show you in this video as well how you can use the Revlon Colorstay Cream Shadows, how you can apply them, and also how you can create a beautiful makeup look at the end. Because this formula is a little bit, I wouldn't say difficult, it just depends on how you use it. First, what's important with this cream eyeshadow is that you're not going to use too much at once, so that you're going to build it up if you need more. Second, you can apply it with a brush that comes with it, and you can also use your finger to apply it to have a bit more control, and it looks a little bit more blended. So both ways work as well, and you have to be a bit quicker as this one dries, which means that it will stay put all day long. So it won't crease once it's dry just because of the formula, and it also will come off like a little bit more trickier if you're going to get in contact with water, so you have already to use makeup removers to get it off. So I mean, it depends on the person you are, depends on if you have oily eyelids or not. If you are having troubles with creasing on your eyelids, then this is also a good advantage. It just depends on what you're looking after. Now, when it comes to the top lid, there's also a little brush that's included, which you can also take back in, and then you have always a brush with you. And I'm not mad at the brush because it is a very nice and dense brush, which is also important if you're going to use cream eyeshadows. So this is also a good start, and then later on you can always blend it in with your fingers. So what I've done so far is I have like one shade, like only one shade in my crease, and connect it with the outer corner just to get a little bit more structure, and then we can create a beautiful and simple look with it. And on one side I'm going to show you what the shade looks like on its own, and on the other side I'm going to put also a little shimmery shade on top before I'm going to add the cream shadow, just so that you will see how it will perform if you're using a different shadow underneath as well. Now, the shade that I've picked is Stardust. Now, this is what it looks like, and it's a beautiful and shimmery one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with my eyes first. So what's important is that you're going to have your hair basically out of your face, which is always a good start. And then I'm going to take a little mirror, because I need a hand mirror. So what you can do is you can either apply it with a brush or with your finger. So I'm just going to show you first how you can apply it with your finger. And so I have, as you can see, like one crease shadow going on. It's a very natural brownish tone. And I'm going to dig my finger into the cream shadow. Now, the Revlon cream shadows are very soft and also easy to apply. So this is what it looks like now on my finger. But if you're going to apply it with this one, like especially because it's a very light cream shadow, it won't give a lot of coverage. Like, it's more like of a shimmer reflection, but it's very see-through. So you won't see that it is very see-through as it's just reflecting the light. But once you are going to use it now on its own without any other shadow on top, you just might want to use a different shadow underneath before you're going to apply this one. Now, this one is just because of the light shade very see-through. If you would go in with a different shade, then it might also be a bit more, like there might be a little bit more coverage. So this is now what it looks like when I'm applying it and pressing it on with my finger, and it basically has already set. So now when I'm opening my eyes and closing it, it won't crease because it's basically staying put just as the formula like it's created for. So this is now the side where I'm using it on its own. Now on the other side I'm going in with some eyeshadow first so that you will see the difference. And I'm going to get this shade right here, which is a little bit darker, so that you're able to see what the Stardust shadow from the Revlon will look like on top. So I'm going to use my finger on this side as well, going into the shadow, and I'm basically just doing the same as I've done on the other side. I'm just using my finger and I'm pressing it on top. Now this is like basically two ways on how you can use the cream shadows by Revlon, just because I feel like it's important to know that you do not always need to use it on its own. You just can also use it in a mixture of using different shadows and then put that one on top as a topper, just because of the shimmer, which is pretty strong. So the shade in general, what I saw when I went to the drugstore, is that they are beautiful. You have also some matte ones and also a black one. So I feel like there is like a shade for everyone. So now I'm going in with the cream shadow, which I'm going to use on top. And I'm also going to use the little brush that comes like basically with the lid, just so that you see that you're also able to use the brush. And it isn't a crappy brush, it's just a way, like handier way on how you can store your brush. And I'm going to get into the little pot, have it on my brush right here, and I'm going to apply it, but blending needs to be done with your fingers. So now I'm just going to use it on top of the shadow, and I'm basically just tabbing it on top. So I'm not going to wipe it, as this just will take off basically the shadow that's underneath, and we don't want that. We just want to have a beautiful like mixture. And this one, for example, I can keep at the very like inner corner, and this brush is just amazing for it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the finger, I'm going to blend it basically into the other shadows. And there you basically will see from the light to the darker shadow. This is like an example on how you can use it. You can use it as a topper, plus it also makes the shadow underneath stay put as well, just because on the formula that's on top, so the shadow underneath won't move as well. And it just gives a beautiful glow and a beautiful shimmer, which I just used now towards the inner corner. Now, of course, you also just could go in with your finger, as I said, and you're basically going to do the same as I've just done on the other side. So I have it on my finger, and I'm going to press it on top, just even more. So it's totally up to you. You can use it as a topper, just to get like a little bit more shine or get a mixture of different shadows, or you can use it on its own and it just will create a beautiful and glamorous shimmery look. Now what I do want to point out is that what's really important with this shadow, because it dries, is that you're always closing the lid so that no air will come like on the product and it stays like as long as possible. Because if you're not closing the lid correctly, it will dry out and it won't work as well. This is also when it starts to get crumbly, and this is also if you're getting mad that it's not performing well. So please make sure that the lid is on, like always. And when it comes to how you should use cream shadows, if you should get this one as well, then I definitely would say it depends also on what you're looking for. Now this one, for example, you don't have to set with any translucent powder because it stays put on its own, like it dries. If you are having troubles that it's drying too quickly for you, or if you're having trouble that you can't blend it correctly because of the formula, because of the texture, then first I just want to say start practicing it, because practice makes perfect. Still, if you don't like it or you hate the formula or whatsoever, then I definitely also would recommend going in with like actual cream shadows which won't dry, which you need to set with translucent powder, but you're able to have the time to blend it correctly and perfectly. So it depends on what you want. If you want to have something quick that stays put all day long, I definitely would recommend the Revlon Colorstay Creme Shadows. Or if you want something that's like very glamorous but still you're able to work with it for a longer period, then I would recommend getting the Revlon like shimmer version, which I've also done a review / makeup tutorial on it, which you can click on right here if you want to check it out. And this palette is basically a cream shadow palette, but it won't set itself, so you have the time to work with it. So it depends on what you're after. I personally really like the Revlon Colorstay Creme Eyeshadows. I like the shade that I've picked. They had also red and greenish ones. I'm not really a fan of those two colors, but I would go also with black and blue. So it just depends on whatever color you prefer, and this also will suit you the best just because you feel comfortable with it. Now, would I recommend it to you? Yes, I would, because it stays put. You just can like swipe it on and you're done with your makeup basically. So it's also very effective, and you can create a beautiful eye makeup look in a few seconds basically, and it just will do the job for you. What's a bit trickier is that you have to work quicker. So if this is something that's like sounding that you want to get it, then I definitely would recommend it for you. If not, then I definitely would go in with the Revlon eyeshadow palette, because the cream shadows do not set itself. So this is what I can share with you guys. This is my thoughts on the Revlon Colorstay Cream Shadows as well. So I hope that you liked the video. If you have any questions on how you can create makeup looks with it, or how you can blend it, or whatever your trouble is, please let me know, because I'm here to help you out, and I also would love to share it with you as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!